We got Cookie Monster at the test track, aka my SPL spot, and we're gonna meter this thing, and I figured out how to actually clamp the Warhorse. How cool is that? So let's see what we do. And oh, and by the way, I did change a few things. I made the port 2 inches shorter inside, and I slid the box up about 2 inches. You know, just for the simple fact, I wanted to gain a little bit of SPL, and oh, let's find out what it does. All right, we're in Cookie Monster after just messing with the port some, and I wanted to see how much power that this Warhorse can do. I didn't have to look anything up, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I just messed around with it till it worked, and we got it working. So let's see how much power it's taken me to do my scores. Let's check it out. All right, we are down at the kick, and I got this amp just set at full tilt boogie, no RMS limiter on. Let's see what we can get. Woo, baby! Yes! A 151.5, clamping 3,866 watts. We're at 35 hertz instead of 34. I shrunk the port by 2 inches, and I moved the box up by 2 inches. And that's just cool to see how much power we're actually getting out of this Warhorse. And as you can see, we're doing 108 volts AC, pulling 38 amps out of the amplifier, how that works. Divide the two, rise into around 2.5-ish ohms, and I wire down to 1. My rise is usually around 3. So probably with all the added power, it's not really making a big difference. But that is awesome on 1,000 watts. Whoa, a 147.3 on 1,000 watts. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we're only going up 4, maybe 5 dBs to full tilt boogie, but we only have 3,000 more watts. So if we double this power to 2,000, can we get a 50? Let's see if that 3 dB rule of thumb actually comes into play. Let's check it out. Let's try to get 2,000 watts on the money. I'm gonna try my best. But we got the 150. So you can see when you double your power, you usually gain 2 to 3 dBs, but that's awesome to know. Doing almost a 50 on 2,400 watts down at the kick, obviously, but still, nonetheless, that is killer. I want to see what it does on the window. Let's see it full tilt boogie. Almost the old score of 151 we did at the kick. Now we're doing a 150.8 on the dash. That is impressive on 3,484 watts. All right, so we gained quite a lot. When I originally did this, I did a 51 flat, but I didn't know how much power I was clamping. And honestly, I was gonna ask Adam Russell from SPL Lab how to clamp this. I asked Kip from Kicker how to clamp this. No one was entirely sure, and all I did was play a test tone and move things around till it worked. And I'll throw an overlay so you guys can see exactly how I have it on the clamp. So if you have a Warhorse, now you know how to clamp it. But regardless, I gained, and I know how much power I'm seeing. And that's full tilt boogie, but at Slamology, I got that cut in half. So there is a lot more in the tank on this amp, and it does impressive numbers, but for how long? It's an old subwoofer, and Warhorse, it's the Warhorse for a reason, guys. But regardless, I went up half a dB just by changing the port a little bit shorter, moving the box up just 2 inches, little things like that, and it is more musical. My last box that I had in here, me and Tony built, it was barely doing a 50. Last time I metered it, it was a 49.7, and it was just struggling so bad to be able to break that 50, and I was only clamping anywhere from 1,800 to 2,400 watts. And here I'm only clamping another 1,000, and I am a dB and a half plus above that. And to be honest, I was sliding that box up a little bit, cheating a little bit. So knowing how this meters and does so well, like it does, as it sits, I'm happy. Doing almost a 51 at the dash and a 51.5 down at the kick, and I'd say I could probably do a 50 at the headrest on the right day. And that's all I really wanted out of a single 18. Yeah, it's taking up the whole car and it's got a 10K amp on it, but I love it and I love kicker, and I can't wait for the new SoloX18. It's gonna be awesome. Love you guys, all my Patreons. You know who you are. Thank you for all you do. And before we lose all the light, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay living loud.
You want to hear it?